Hello, it's Jang here with a quick little update on my hospital. Unfortunately, as you know, I've been doing lots and lots of review videos, so that has not allowed me to put as much time into the hospital as I would have liked. So I got the wall kind of built up back there for the third floor, and I got most of the third floor done. Ha! Yeah. This is the little nurse station, which is actually smaller than on the floor below, but still has most of the same components. Haven't obviously gotten the rest of the wall and the kind of lighting up there. But then these first two rooms over here on the right are the two delivery rooms. And there's the first one that's getting prepped, and here's one that's actually in use. The lady's not ready yet, but just getting checked in on. And I'll give you better looks and longer and closer looks at the details in this level once it's actually done, you know, this whole floor. But just wanted to give you a quick little peek at what actually has been done. I've had to really compress things together to fit into here. So yeah, stuff looks cramped. It's Lego. If I were to make this into a real scale, I would have probably just these two delivery rooms on this entire floor. Maybe room for one more room on the entire floor, and that's about it. You know, I have to make things small. That's a requirement. I'm not going to take up my entire table or the entire space of my whole main downtown area just to do the hospital. So I'm using the space that I have. This is the nursery room, which is ready for the summer new baby mold. I'm not going to use the Native American one. It just doesn't work with the wrap that goes around it. I'm going to use the summer ones, but this is getting ready here. I actually had a design. These are representing incubators here. I had a design that I worked on, and a microfig pretty closely approximates the size of that baby that's coming out. But this was the design I came up with for an incubator casing, and I was using this. I spent a lot of time just experimenting around to come up with this, and then I put it in, and it just doesn't give me enough space to have what looks like it could be a believable walkway in there. I mean, obviously, again, everything's really compressed. Figures physically, literally would only fit sideways here, but you know, it just looks much more believable as a potential space than that. So I had to go down to something pre-built, but I think it actually work. And then this is the first of my just regular kind of exam room places, you know, just a general exam and doctor's office kind of thing, you know, pretty generic. And then there's another one over here that's going exactly to plan. I had to move the wall just a little bit diagonally, shift it just a little bit right there, but that's okay. It works out. Just like over here, I had to shift the wall in, you know, look a little bit awkwardly to kind of even up the space, but it's just what I had to do, and I did what I had to do, and I'm happy with it. This is kind of the administrative area right here in the center. Just a couple of computers there, and that'll get closed up, and then I've got radiology. So I've got the CT scan machine that's set up here. I showed this on Instagram, and I expressed my displeasure with how big that ring turned out to be, but I tried working on other things, trying to figure out other ways to make a smaller ring, and I just couldn't. I couldn't come up with anything that would actually fit a minifig into it, because look at this. You can actually slide through there, and I needed to be able to fit a minifig through there to make myself happy, and smaller things just don't look a fraction as good as this design for the round ring. So I went with that. Got the little monitoring station over here, and a rack of all the, you know, pads and cushions and things for getting people's bodies aligned properly and comfortably. And that'll just get kind of finished up. That'll be a fairly plain room, as these rooms do tend to be. So it'll have some empty space and some fairly blank walls. I think that's the way it should be. And then I'm going to try to set up an X-ray system over here with both horizontal and vertical emitters for that, unless I can just have a single emitter that can move and just have the shield, you know, horizontal shield. This one will be tight in the, you know, really compressed sense. It'll be difficult to pull it off, but basically I just need to finish off this here, which is really, really close, and then design this room, and then the rest of it is small little details, and then this entire floor, this whole third floor will be complete, and that'll be going in there, and then I can start working on the roof. Yeah. The roof will be interesting and hopefully different. What I have planned for it is probably a little bit unexpected, partially unexpected, partially expected, but it's all planned out. So don't worry, I've got it figured out, and hopefully it'll physically work after all this and really tie things together. So that's it for my update on this one. Wanted to go through it fairly quickly. Like I said, once I've got this entire floor done, I'll either come back and do an update on that shows it in the studio, spend a little more time, or I might just wait until completion, because I'll be kind of on the home stretch by then, and give some really proper, nice little narrated kind of tour through the whole place. Thank you for watching, and I will be keeping you up to date as updates are available. Talk to you again soon.